Welcome to Happy Aura, a calm space in a loud world. Slow down, breathe deep, and enjoy wisdom. Be yourself. These two words may be the most repeated advice in history, yet they are also the hardest to follow. To be yourself is not a simple act of preference, like choosing a shirt or a seat at the table. It is a lifelong discipline. The world, with its layers of expectation, judgment, and reward systems, will constantly encourage you to adjust your shape to fit the molds it has prepared. Sometimes the pressure is overt, other times subtle, but it is always there. To be yourself means to resist the temptation to live according to another's script. It means refusing to hide your convictions just because they are unpopular, or to mimic traits you do not possess in hopes of gaining approval. This is not to say you should be unchanging. Growth is essential, but that growth must be authentic, not an act performed for the audience of the moment. The cost of false affection is higher than it first appears. Pretending to care when you do not, whether in romance, friendship, or business, may seem harmless in the short term. A small courtesy, a polite gesture to smooth over social obligations. But over time, such performances corrode the self. They teach you to separate what you feel from what you show, to treat sincerity as a resource you can ration or imitate. The tragedy of feigned affection is that it cheapens the real thing. When you act as though you love, without actually loving, you are not only deceiving the other person, you are teaching yourself that connection is a matter of appearance, not essence. This makes it harder to recognize and to give the genuine bond when it does appear. Better to be honest, even if the honesty is awkward or painful. Better to say, I don't feel that way, than to act the part and leave both people trapped in an illusion. Honesty may sting, but it clears the air. Pretense suffocates slowly. This warning matters because cynicism often masquerades as wisdom. After heartbreak, betrayal, or loss, it is tempting to declare love a fraud, a trick played by hormones and hope. This attitude can feel like armor, keeping you from being hurt again. But in truth, cynicism is not armor, it is a cage. When you treat love as nothing but a delusion, you deny yourself the possibility of being surprised by it. You start to interpret every act of kindness as manipulation, every romantic gesture as a calculated move, every declaration of feeling as a setup for disappointment. You may feel safe, but it is the safety of someone who has walled themselves off from sunlight. Aridity, emotional drought, comes to everyone. There are seasons when relationships dry up, when the warmth you once felt is replaced by a barren quiet, when even the thought of opening your heart feels exhausting. Disenchantment follows, the sense that what you once believed in romance, friendship, trust was naive. But love is not gone. Like grass, it may appear to wither under the sun's relentless heat, but beneath the surface, the roots remain alive. And when the rains come, Sometimes from the most unexpected clouds, it returns with the same green stubbornness. Love's endurance is not about constant euphoria. It is about persistence through cycles. The love between friends who survive a decade of distance. The love between partners who pass through seasons of boredom, stress, and doubt, and emerge still choosing each other. The love of parents who forgive the hurts of youth, or children who care for aging parents despite old grievances. Even in its smallest form, love reappears in the way a stranger holds the door for you when your hands are full, or in the warmth of a text from someone who remembered a date that matters to you. It shows up in laughter shared over something silly, or in the quiet comfort of sitting with someone in silence. When you pretend to be someone you're not, the relationships you attract will be built on false foundations. They may be pleasant at first, but eventually cracks will form because the person being loved is not truly you, it is a projection. And if people love only the projection, you will feel unseen even when surrounded by affection. By contrast, when you bring your real self forward with all your strengths and flaws, you create the possibility for love that is rooted in reality. Such love may grow more slowly because it takes time for others to discover and appreciate the real you. But once it does, it is far more resilient. This does not mean broadcasting every thought or impulse. Authenticity is not the same as raw disclosure. It is possible to be genuine while still being kind, to hold your boundaries without pretending to be someone else. If you fake affection long enough, you may begin to believe that everyone else is faking it too, that no one's feelings are real. That connection is a game of masks. This belief breeds cynicism, which in turn makes you more likely to feign affection again, because you assume sincerity is wasted. The cycle continues, and slowly you forget what it feels like to love or be loved without calculation. Breaking this cycle requires a deliberate act of openness. It means risking embarrassment, risking rejection, even risking heartbreak. But every genuine connection you form, no matter how brief, reminds you that love still exists and that it is worth the risk. The world will sometimes reward imitation over authenticity and manipulation over sincerity. There will be moments when you wonder if being yourself is worth it, when you see someone advance faster by playing the part people expect, or by feigning relationships they do not feel. In these moments, remember that every short-term gain built on falsehood is a long-term cost. To be yourself is to play a longer game. It is to plant seeds in your relationships that will grow slowly, but will not be uprooted by the first strong wind. In a time when many speak more than they mean and commit less than they promise, to love truly is a quiet act of rebellion. To say, I care, and mean it, to stand by it through inconvenience, is to push back against the culture of disposability. To refuse cynicism is to keep the world just a little more human. And this is where the metaphor of the grass becomes most powerful. Grass grows everywhere. It finds cracks in sidewalks, clings to the sides of hills, and spreads across deserts when given the smallest drop of water. Love, too, finds its way into the most unexpected corners. Sometimes it grows where you believed nothing could survive. If you are lucky, you will witness this in your own life. Perhaps in the way a long-lost friend reappears just when you need them, or how a relationship you thought was over blooms again in a new season, stronger for having endured drought. Be yourself, because the love you attract this way will be real. Do not feign affection, because every false gesture is a step away from the life you truly want. Do not be cynical about love, because cynicism blinds you to the moments when love is quietly trying to reach you, and when the seasons of aridity and disenchantment arrive, as they inevitably will. Remember the grass. Remember that even when the surface looks dry, the roots are still alive. Life has a way of sending rain when you least expect it. Hold your ground, stay open, and trust that love, like the grass, will return green, resilient, and quietly defiant against every drought.